Okay, welcome everybody. It's Mayday, Mayday. The markets are falling.
Oh, goodness.
It's not looking good. Brett's TikToking over here, but that's fine.
Well, fuck, I have to do something positive in this
Do
all
something to
bloody
make you
negative
happy.
day. Yeah.
Because it is shitty out there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Like, when they say it's raining, like they are not
It's down
kidding.
20. Everything we bought on Saturday and Friday is not worth money today, you know. But that's the
But I will pay up
world
on my
we live in.
bet.
Oh, there we go. I was really wishing I wouldn't win this. We'll have to think.
So
we'll figure out how to.
If we would have bet
do another
$4
$100.
copper, I might stand. Yeah,
We should do a $100 bet every month.
God damn, I don't know if I should be betting anything right now. I'm
You're the only person I can win on a bet.
oh, man.
Well, as I said, copper's down 20 cents. I saw it this morning. I haven't even had time to really read any articles on why. I assume it's got something related to China.
Yeah.
If I had to
It's
guess.
like anything. Well, I think that basically like GDP missed, like, you know, some of the manufacturing, the ISM was like lower than anticipated. Jobs were slower, but inflation was higher. So I think
That's part of it.
it's like
the
stagflation.
dollar's still really high.
a 20-year high, you know.
So that's a
against
big
the
part of
basket
it.
Currencies. And so you wouldn't think that the dollar is as many dollars as we've printed in the last, 2 years would be as strong as it is, but it's still like the cleanest turd in a cesspool of turds, right? So it's like, I think
Is that a good sign for the overall economy or a bad sign?
I don't know,
Sometimes
man.
I
I'm
don't
not really
know.
an economist. I just kind of like we play the cards we're dealt, and we try and read the tea leaves a little bit, and but more short-term stuff, on the day-to-day, and then long-term stuff, like where do you want to position yourself? But I don't know. I mean, I feel like this market still has legs, but with China locking everything down and creating supply and logistics issues. I was reading an article this weekend, and they were talking about for every week that like your main shipping ports in China are shut down, it creates it's like 6 weeks or 2 months of basically shipping issues at other ports in the world. So it's like for every week they're closed, it's just creating this like situation that's going to start really dominoing like months and months down the road. So I know logistics is going to be, a conversation that's not going to go away anytime soon. So,
Well, talking to Jake Bronstein from Indiana, like he's having a hell of a time getting trucks to get in and out of there in a timely fashion.
yeah.
He hasn't been able to justify letting his truck sit there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So like even just getting in and out of a mill or shredder, wherever he was,
anywhere.
And then people are canceling his contracts. I mean, that's happening nationwide.
Yeah.
I
I think it gets stickier before it gets better. So I think you kind of got to pick and choose your spots, right? I'm not such a pessimist that I think this is like the end where everything comes tumbling down, because I feel like, at some point the pessimism, goes away and there's some optimistic opportunities. Like there's something to, to look forward to. And I feel like, China isn't going to leave their economy just shut down forever.
Why is it shut down?
COVID is
Is it
what they're
COVID-
saying,
COVID
like that's
related?
the narrative. I'm a believer that sometimes the narrative isn't exactly always what the truth is, but it feels like, for now that it's a COVID issue, and they, when they lock down,
once they get open, it feels like things should run again. But that's
well, I feel like they'll probably stimulate their economy. They've already came out and said they're going to support their economy, but right now it's like anything, right? It's all bad news, and the Fed's about to raise rates this week, which nobody likes to see, and they, people anticipate, 0.5%, and if I don't think they're going to come out and shock the market and go like 3/4 or, I feel like they're going to kind of stick with the plan of 0.5%, and if that's the case, then and people are still trying to digest that. And last week on the stock end they had a couple good days. You know, had some rough days to begin the week, and
Yeah, bounce back a little.
but on the
bit.
commodities is where our focus is, and it could soften up. We've had a hell of a run, so time will tell.
Been a great
Ferris
run.
is going to be rough this month. I mean, I haven't got any firm numbers yet, but
Down
it's looking rough.
60 to 100.
Yeah, depend on the grade. You know, it depends on what you have to ship. I mean, primes are going to get, whacked. But then again, like primes were up big money last month and the month before. So are they just taking back what was like a month or two? Like
Even us, we get caught up in the short term in like a 3-month scale. Where
Yeah.
we're like, like that price sucks. Copper down 20 cents is shitty. But then you look at it other like, 420 copper is something we would have been dreaming about like
I know.
not that long ago.
This is how I look at it,
So-
right? And it's still your money's made on your buy, and and not as necessarily as much on the sell, but it's like somebody that makes $15 an hour, and then all of a sudden they get paid $20 an hour. So all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm making $20 an hour to come to work today, right? And then the next month you get paid $15 an hour again, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of how the scrap market, the commodities gets looked at. If you're looking at it from the short term, you're like, well, just a month ago I was kind of happy making 15, so I got to make 20 for 1 month. But now that I go back to making 15, this sucks, Well, in all reality, like
You just
got a month, you just got a month or two that you got paid 20, and so it felt good, and I feel like on scrap and commodities end, it's treated similarly. So sometimes you have to remember 6 months ago or a year ago and be like, well, I was still felt pretty good about, $450 iron or $500 iron or $600 whatever, right? Like 420 copper. I mean, you can get all caught up in it and say, this is terrible, we're off 20 cents. Or you can be like, hey, it is what it is. Like, that's life. Like, you can fucking buck up and take the 420 and move forward, or sit around and lick your wounds.
Yeah, we've done it before. I mean, any yard that's been open for a while has been through these big turns. I guess we might have to get used to enjoying $15 an hour again, which I can.
Yeah.
It
It all comes back down to how where you put your lifestyle. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. Like if you get super leveraged, then you got to figure that out.
When everyone's talking about inflation, I would just tell you guys, everyone, a quick story of how I saw inflation be extremely true. I bought a bike for myself in 2020, and I bought it. It was expensive for me to spend that much. It was like $600. That's what I was willing to spend for a good mountain bike. I could take it up to Bogus Basin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't have a good bike, so I kind of wanted to get her on some trails. So I've been looking for a bike. So I went and looked at that same bike because they have a smaller one that would work perfect for her.
Yeah.
That bike costs $1,000 today. It's in 2 years, and it's got
Like, hey,
$400.
call me when it goes on sale.
Yeah, and that's where I told my wife, like, okay, inflation sucks. I mean, I see it in the gas prices and all that shit, but like, I really saw it with the price of that damn bike, same exact model.
Yeah.
2 years later.
So you're gonna buy a bike. Hey, we don't know much about scrap, but if you're gonna buy a bike, it's gonna be expensive.
Wait for the sale.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.